Hello, how are you today? Welcome, you guys, to part three of I Love My Work. This is the final night to share with you, and I'm just getting set up here again. It always takes me a second to make sure everything's working, and I sure hope the internet is going to be cooperating for us tonight because things seem to be a little slow, but they're working. So here we come. Hello, hello. Say hello when you come in. I'm so happy to have this to be here with you. I've got so much really cool stuff to share with you tonight about a 5D business and what exactly that means. So come on in and get yourself comfy. We won't be too long tonight, but definitely get yourself a pen and paper, okay, or a journal so that you can copy down what I'm going to say if you're really into this. I'm always that way. When I watch webinars and master classes, I'm always writing things down. That's just me. So, yay! Hey, hi Kelly. Hi Lynn. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad you're here. It is so much such a better frequency when people are here. I cannot speak into my camera or my phone when no one is here. I feel like it feels like there's something missing, which obviously there is. People. So I hope that you have gotten some nuggets out of the last two evenings, and I do have the replays in here available for you if you've missed them. I also am emailing out the recordings either tonight or tomorrow, and you can also see them um, on my YouTube if you want to get at them before they get emailed out to you. They will go up there right away. So that is Janice Gallant Art and the Creation Guild. Uh, that is my YouTube channel. Okay. All right. So um, let's see. We've covered the mistakes that are made by not creating a strong energetic foundation on the first night. And then last night we talked about the things that I do, and I think there was six or seven things that I mentioned that I do to stay in that high vibrant frequency of continuing to be in that energetic magnetic space so that people are drawn to me. And that is a big, big part of business and of the 5D business, which I will get into. But when you are in alignment, when you are continually working on you and continually staying in that higher frequency, and that doesn't mean that you have to be happy all the time. High frequency is different from like the high vibe, yay, exciting, so much fun, right? It's not that. A high frequency is a clean, clear energy that you are resonating out to the world. And so it doesn't mean that you have to be happy and excited and oh, come follow me, come join me, because people will see right through that right away. You want to be you, authentically you. And so the best part of this that I truly, truly love is that as an entrepreneur, you need to continually be working on you. And that you grow with your business grows with you. And that is what's so beautiful. And when things aren't going right, there's either it's either energetics or your framework or structure, which is also very important in business. And then sometimes there are just forces beyond our control that are happening, right? I mean, you don't have control over somebody getting in a car accident that's close to you and that throwing you for a loop. You don't always have control over everything. And I think that's what keeps me humble, because I know that I am doing my very best to continually be in my high frequencies and continually growing and learning and evolving. And when something comes up where I go, whoa, wait a minute, what is going on? I didn't see that coming. What is going on? I check in first with me. Where am I at? I try to clean up my energy. And if that's still not working, I surrender to the universe, because I know there are bigger forces going on. And if I'm trying to resist them and go against them and manifest and create in an opposite direction, then nothing's going to work, right? So, one thing I do know though is the universe is never trying to punish you. The universe is never trying to um, teach you a lesson in a hard way. The universe is always, always at your back and in your best interest, working in your best interest in a supportive way. Sometimes we're the one that gets in the way of where we need to go. And we're standing in the middle of a path, and the universe is trying to kind of push us to the side to take another route. And we don't want to go that way because we don't think that's the right way. And so we're stubborn and we stay there. And so that will create stagnation and make things a little harder in our business. So I just love the topic of the energetics because it can be so many different things. And when I get talking with other entrepreneurs, clarity comes through. So the big thing that I learned is, first of all, to take the time to go to to be in my awakened heart, to be open to learning, and to make sure I have a support system with me, that I'm not doing this alone. I'm not behind the scenes trying to figure everything out, that I actually have other entrepreneurs that have created businesses in a much bigger way than I have. And I know I can trust what they have to say. And so I'm able to reach out to them. And that's what I want to be here for, the women that want to get started in their business too, is to be here as a guide and a mentor. So just to slow down a little bit and say the magnetic magic of a soulfully aligned woman, is a woman who is fully embodied in her magnetic magic and soulfully aligned, right? And she's this woman, this aspect of you is already within you and ready to emerge. And she is emerging, right? But we want to make sure that we continue to walk that path. We understand how we access her and how we stay in that resonance. So a soulfully aligned woman walks in balance with all aspects of her full being. She's unhindered by outside forces, walking in her empowerment. She's a creator, the artist of her own life, powerful and strong, yet gentle and wise at the same time. Miracles follow her as she walks. She's tapped into unseen forces, tuned into the whispers of the universe, and she's confident and feels so worthy of all the desires of her heart. So she holds access to all the keys of her soul, and her possibilities are infinite. And this is you. Your possibilities are infinite. She designs the life of her dream, the business of her dreams, and the relationships of her dreams. So if you found your way here, I am so happy to welcome you in. You are here for a reason. The universe always guides and directs us when we think, I feel like I should watch that masterclass tonight. There's always a reason behind it, right? And becoming the soulfully aligned magnetic entrepreneur is just taking that soulfully aligned magnetic woman and putting her into her own business. And so we understand that we have this um, this energy that we create. And businesses will take on their own energy. They become an entity of their own as they begin to grow and expand. And it's important to realize that, right? And this new moon on Friday, when we start the mystic business, it's new moon in Aries, right? And Aries is the first new moon of the astrological calendar. So it's a perfect time for embracing opportunities and for conscious manifesting. So it's a really strong new moon energy. And in the new moon is when we plant our seeds for them to grow in the soil, in the dark. And over the 8 weeks that we will be together, hey, Carrie, hi. Over the 8 weeks that we will be together, your business is going to emerge and blossom. Oh, so I'll tell you about that more later. Anyways, business is the vehicle for soul work, and it is the fast track for your growth. And I love it for this reason. But business is changing, and we have a new world evolving that is the 5D quantum world. And because as humans, we are growing and evolving into the 5D quantum world, business has to come along with us in that way. Can't be any other way. Um, but a lot of people aren't really conscious of this and they're still trying to create businesses the old way. So I'm going to talk to you about the new way and the old way. And I have a chart here, and I used this chart last year. And it's not the greatest. I'm in my teacher mode, and this is my makeshift whiteboard that I don't really have. And what I realized last year when I created it, if I'm writing on it, it's backwards for you. Unless we're in a Zoom and I can actually set the settings for, taking the mirror image off, I can't do that in Facebook. So luckily I had written on a clear sheet of paper and I took it and I flipped it over so that it is not backwards for you. Okay, so the 5D quantum world is one that's of a higher frequency, and it is much more energy than matter. We've been living in a world that is very, very focused on this physical world. It's the 3D world, length, width, and depth. And if you think of that as like a canvas that we paint, we have a length and a width of the canvas, and then we create the depth when we paint. We live in a world that is very much focused in this 3D version. It has been for many years. You go to school, you go on to university if you can, you graduate, you get a good job, you buy a house, you get married, you have kids, you save for your retirement, and you just hope that you can, gather up enough things in your life that make you happy. Things are the key words there. Now, a 4D world is as people are starting to wake up and say, wait a minute, what I see around me is here, but I sense that there's something more, that there's another aspect to this world, there's another dimension to the world. That's the 4D world. And that is where a lot of people are right now. And this is why you are so needed out there in the world with your business, with your beautiful, soulfully aligned business. This, what you're learning here is absolute gold and cutting edge that a lot of people just aren't conscious of. Our world is changing. We are changing. We are becoming more aware of energy and the energy around us and how it impacts us and how we impact it. It ripples around. Even in the science world, they are they've been there, right? They know that there's energy. They know that we can measure energy and that it's a real thing. Now, in the years that I was in my shamanic training, way back in the early 90s, um, I was being taught at that time in our circle that ascension was coming, and it was coming now in these years that we are living right now. So this was back in time, but I was being taught to be prepared for ascension and to work towards ascension. Ascension at that time was considered to be death without the physical dying, that you actually just just kind of became more light and the physical body dissolved away. Now this scared a lot of people because they're still very, very much attached to this physical world and the people in their lives, their loved ones, their children, their grandchildren. They were like, wait a minute. If that's what I signed up for, I don't know if I want that, right? But now we know that ascension is actually recognizing that we are more energy than we are physical being. And it's not about ascending away from this physical body, but it is about living in this physical body with the knowledge that we are spirit first, spirit and energy first, and physical body comes next. And we've been given these beautiful physical vehicles in order to experience life, to enjoy the things that we have here, but not be attached to them, not feel like I have to hoard and I have to cling to all my things. It's more like, hey, this is a cool experience, and being able to move through it, let it go and move on, right? And grow with that experience from within. So, if you have questions about that, please go ahead and put it in the chat, and I will do my best to explain even more. But that's my intro to 3D. So we have 3D, 4D, and 5D. So if you make yourself a T chart, so a line down the middle with 3D on the left and moving across to 5D, we're going to talk about that. So we are becoming aware that we are more energy than matter. Okay. And things are changing very, very quickly. Um, and if you're here, you're really quite ahead of the masses, right? However, the shift is happening. And these last couple of years have really catapulted us forward. You're going to have more and more people around you that are open to talking about spirit, about there being something more in this world. And there are more and more people that are in their hearts. They're calling out for guides and mentors to help them. Excuse me. And this is why you may have a desire to become a coach or bring your work forward, whatever that work might be, as a service, as an online service, as people maybe just around you in the community that they can come and talk to you. It is because there are so many souls in the world that are desiring this. They are creating this in the world, and you are feeling that pull, and you are stepping up to it, and you are needed. Does that make sense to you? Okay. So I had written here that 5D is living in a wonderful dance with all of the dimensions, recognizing that there really are cosmic forces available for us to work with. And this makes our experience much more enlightened right now. It lightened up from the heavy experiences of the physical world, right? While still enjoying life in this physical world. Okay. All right. All right. Thanks, Carrie. Yes. Good. Okay. So, what is your new business consciousness in the 5D world? So, it's about recognizing energy first to anything that we create, a business, a product, a program, anything that we create. It starts in energy first. And so when we talk about the old way of doing business, the old way of doing business in 3D was very much driven by fear and ego. Okay. The fear and the ego of I've got to be the best, right? I've got to have the best. I've got to be the biggest. I've got to be the one, right? The one and only, the master, the one who knows it all. And I've got to look like I know it all for people to come. Well, if if I wanted to be the best coach ever, then there's no room for you. So, what kind of relationship would that create if I'm coaching you, but I don't want you to be the best because you'll take my spot, right? So, that's the old mentality around business. The new mentality is focused around love. And in the world, as the Course in Miracles tells us, there is only fear and love. You can truly break any emotions, anything you are experiencing down to either fear or love. And we are recognizing that in the new 5D business, we are moving through love of life, love of people, love of what we have to share. Okay. So the next line is, and I'll move this down a bit. Oops, if I can. Okay. Let's stop there. Okay, so the next one is, oh, that shows up okay. Separation versus unity consciousness. So in the old 3D version of business, we see ourselves as separate from everyone else, the separate little unit. In the new 5D version of business, we know we are all together in this world. There's a unity to consciousness to everything that we do, right? There's no separation. I know that my actions ripple out and have an impact around me. So I'm more conscious of what I'm doing and how I'm serving and how I'm speaking and the energy that I am projecting out, needs to come from that unity consciousness and not separation. So then we have, you might not see that if there's a glare there. On the 3D side, it's identity with the lower self. And on the 5D side, we have access to our higher self-awareness, right? So identity with the lower self. The old way of doing business was all about just me and a lot of manipulation, right? Lower self, meaning I'm going to do this for me because I want to be in business for myself and I want to make lots of money and I want to, buy my family a big house and all this, right? Higher self-awareness recognizes that we are bringing in a wisdom and a higher consciousness that is bigger than us and serving in the world. And it really isn't about the stuff, right? So when you're in the lower self, you are creating just through your ego. When you're in the higher self awareness, you are connecting to your source and bringing through what the world needs and what you need, both, right? Okay, so then we have survival. On the 3D side, it was all about survival, survival of the fittest. And I want you to think back to the 70s or 80s and sales, right? It was all about survival and who had the highest sales. And that very much was the mentality when I was in my decorating business. You know, we would go to our monthly gathering meetings where all the business owners of the same franchise would come and they would start to report, well, who had the highest sales? It was just like in a car sales lot, right? The name goes on the board, who has the highest sales so far, and it's very, very competitive, right? Which we'll talk about next. So it's very much a survival. I have to get this far. I have to survive. And in the 5D world, it's about serving. How do my gifts and abilities, um, sorry, a message just popped in from my son, and it's very good news, and he's super excited. But how do I serve in the world? How can I serve? What these gifts that I was born with, whatever they are, if it's the gift to create beautiful paintings or be creative, if it's the gift to have the ability to listen to my friends, to really be, there for them and to hear them, or the gift to speak, or the gift to write, or the gift to nurture children, right? Doesn't matter what it is, these gifts came to me for a purpose. They came with me. So, how do I serve the world with my gifts? Okay. The next one is the competition, which is scarcity mindset, right? Versus abundance mindset. So, scarcity, of course, there's not enough for all of us. So, only the few of us are going to get all of the money or all the stuff, right? There's not enough to go around. I can't share with you. I can't give you all my secrets of how I built my business up, because then you'll take all my clients and there won't be enough for me, right? But in the 5D world, we have an abundance mindset. We know that there's more than enough for all of us, and we're all such unique, beautiful beings, right? And it is a wonderful world to share in. And I know that, like I said last night, even if I could coach 15 women in a month, one on one, which would be way more than I could actually do, how many people are in your community? How many people are in your state or province? And how many people are in the world? So there's loads of room for more coaches and more energy workers and more services in this world. And if we have more and more coaches, that makes it better for all of us, because we create a standard in this industry that becomes respected and sought after, right? Okay, moving on. And you guys, if you have any questions, put them in. Okay, I really am in my teacher mode. Sorry. Okay, moving on to the next one is either self-serving or in service and selfless. Self-serving, again, is that self-centered kind of selfish way of doing things. I'm going to manipulate you into buying my programs, and once I've got you in, then I'm not going to be as warm and fuzzy with you, right? That's the old way. The new way is being in service. That if you come into my world, then I'm going to love you to pieces, and I'm going to take care of you, and I'm going to help you in every way that I can. I'm going to be selfless. I'm going to share everything I can with you, no holding back, because I want you to succeed. I want you to experience the joy of success for you too, and growth. Okay, the next one is judgmental versus forgiveness. Okay, the old way, even in interacting with people, is that there was constant judgment and criticism. And that's because of, survival. Like, I'll judge you and criticize you and put you down so that I can be on top, right? And now in the 5D world of serving in the business, in the world, it is about forgiveness. Forgiveness for me, forgiveness for you, and knowing that we are all a work in progress, we are all growing and learning, and nobody is better than the other. That perhaps you coming into my world, I am going to learn so much from you. And I do. I truly, it, when you're coaching people, it is definitely, it is a two-way street. I grow and learn as much as you do. That's why this is such a fabulous job. I love this job. Okay. Now we have comparison. We're almost there. Comparison and in the old 3D and the new 5D is heart-centered faith, trust, belief. So I talked about this last night when I was constantly comparing myself to other women. I'm not as smart as them. I'm not as gifted as them. I can't speak like they do. I'm not as fluent. I don't like my voice compared to theirs. That comparison has to go. And instead, we know that we are in our heart and we are serving in the way that we are meant to serve. And I believe this, and I'm trusting in my heart, and I'm trusting in the universe, and I'm putting my faith there. That if I am following my heart and I am, you know, always in that awakened heart and serving in the world in the best way possible, that everything is going to keep growing and moving forward. Um, and I believe that, and I have faith in that, right? And it doesn't always work out the way you imagined. Like, oh my gosh, you hear a lot of people online. Yeah, I started my coaching business like last year and now I'm making 30 grand a month. It's like, well, there's a few, yeah, that are doing that, but that's not everybody. And so yeah, there has to be a little bit of allowance of trust and allowing yourself to grow and unfold in the way that most serves everyone, right? Okay, so then we have biases. Okay, biases are like judgment, but they're more ingrained. Sometimes we don't even realize we have a bias, right? And the beauty of this work is you become more aware of these things, these thoughts, these ideas that are within you that you didn't even realize you had. And instead of having the bias and the judgments, we recognize that we are all creators, that nothing is set in stone because we get to create each day. Each day is a new day, a new creation unfolding. And so there's no room for biases. And then the very last one is doing. In the old way, it's do, do, do all this marketing and do all this organizing and do. Keep busy, right? Because if you're busy, then you got a momentum going and then surely things are going to work for you. But it doesn't work like that. And we know that in the 5D world now. We know that it is energetics and it is about being. It is about taking a breath, coming into your body and saying, okay, what is the world reflecting to me? Because I know that that's what's going on inside of me, right? That reflection on the outside. So we start to recognize that, okay, sometimes I need to just go and take a day to paint in my art studio to recenter. And every time I do that, it's like, it's so cool because things start to move again. And it's all energetics. It's all energetics. When I first started coaching, I started learning and I was super excited about it. I had taken Gabby's first program online. I was super excited about it. I started to get these downloads and channeling information about programs to create. So I was having so much fun creating this new program, and I hadn't told anyone about it. I was just creating it. It's my soulfully aligned, no, the art of a soulfully aligned life. Yeah. Um, and I just started creating it and I was having so much fun every day creating new modules and new meditations and thing and little videos. And a woman called me up out of the blue, asking me if I maybe had a coaching program, because first of all, she had read my book, and then she saw my positive quotes online. And that's all I was doing at that point. And it seems like that's how we start. We just feel this desire to put positive quotes online, to positive, inspirational um, things, pictures, words. We start to put that online. And so she reached out to me. And then in the same week, another woman who I knew but I hadn't seen in a few years reached out to ask if I would coach her. I was blown away because I had not said anything to anyone online about, wanting to create a coaching program, but I was excited. I was immersed in the creation process. My energy exuded outwards and magnetized these women to me. The same thing kind of happened last fall when I decided to take a great leap for a new coaching mentor for myself. Huge leap, financially huge leap. And I took that leap and I was so excited because I followed my heart. And within the same week, I had really high sales. Some other women reached out. It was like you can see, you can test it out. When you have that high vibration excitement, when you're loving life and excited about what's coming, when you have hope and you're creating, you're in that creating mode, things come to you. That's what the magnet part is. That's what makes you magic. That's what it's about. So, this is exactly what we will be doing in the mystic business. Okay, the mystic business is an 8-week training, and it is designed to help you right from the bottom up to get started to kind of identify what it is that you might like to do, get clear on it, and then start to bring that forward, creating an energetic foundation for your business so that it doesn't collapse on you. So the first week is about the foundation of your business and connecting to your higher power. And you guys, these weeks are jam packed. You get a module that you can print out and save for each week. And I go through that module with you live on a Zoom and we interact and chat. The second week is your beliefs. And I have a way of just blowing you out of the water to expand your beliefs in what you can do and how your life can change. It is so much fun. I love that week. The third week is your soul aligned clients. So bringing in the clients, who are they and where do I find them? And this is not just, marketing. There is some strategy in here, but it is also about energy. Okay. So finding those soul aligned clients so that they find you. They find you. Okay. And they just are drawn to you. Um, the the fourth week is about overcoming fears, limiting beliefs, and things like imposter syndrome and worthiness and all of that. And it is a fabulous week because we all have that. And we're like, how do I get past this, right? The fifth week then moves into, after we talk about all those limiting beliefs and patterns, we then move into, okay, how do we create the wealthy woman mindset? Because if you're going to be an entrepreneur, regardless of how much money you want to make, you need to have that wealthy woman mindset and move into that because that also makes you magnetic, right? When people look at you and they see that you can do it and that you are doing it, then they are more attracted to you because they want to know, well, how is she doing it? What's she doing exactly? Right? But we know, and we'll be talking about this in the mystic business, is that it's an internal work, right? As well as external. So you're getting both strategy and energetics in this. Um, And then on the next week, we actually create our dream mandala for our business. And that is a powerful, energetic process of putting your intentions and desires for your business into a beautiful mandala that you can hang up in your home office or wherever you want. The seventh week is called soulful selling. So a lot of us are really super afraid to put ourselves out there. Well, you can't be in business without sharing about your business and without making money. And so this week is going to help you get over that hump and be able to get yourself out there and go to your heart and know that what you have to serve is important in the world. And then the final week is the energetics around giving yourself permission to succeed. You know, what's holding you back? Sometimes there's a lot of energetics around what's holding you back, and we dig to the bottom of that and get you clear on it. So the mystic business is like I can't tell you enough how exciting it is to be in this and to bring it to you. It is the most foundational. It will set you up with a really strong framework and the energetics for you to move forward. So by the end of the 8 weeks, it's designed so that you could actually be in your business. By the end of 8 weeks, you could actually have it online and go with it. Or if you have a storefront or a brick and mortar, that's good too because it's all the same, right? You still need a bit of online work too, even if you have a location, because you need to have, both, especially if you have products, right? So there are several payment options in there to make it easy for everyone. So go take a look in the link that I'm going to put in here. In fact, I will put it in right now. Um, but I also wanted to tell you about um, the soulfully aligned, there it is here, the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur. Sorry, the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur. Because I thought that I was really just doing the mystic business, and then I was guided in the most beautiful way. So this one is going to be, it's going to start, um, I feel like I've been saying on the 4th, and I almost feel like I need to wait a little longer. I need to actually come back in and give more information on it, but it is going to be 5 days, a 5 day program really focused on the magnetic magic of drawing people into you because there's so much to say about that. It is going to be 5 intensive gatherings together, and each day you will get more information on how to be that beautiful, soulfully aligned, magnetic entrepreneur. And I have so much to share around that. So 5 days, and then it will morph into a monthly mastermind if you choose. But first, we're going to have that 5 days together that will um, create, that foundation of being an entrepreneur. Okay, it looks like maybe I froze on the camera. I'm looking at it. We shall see. I hope I didn't freeze. I hope you got all that information. All right, people. Thank you so much for being here. Um, I can't think, one of the questions, first of all, I'll say that I've had in the past is what if I don't know what I want to do in my business? That is the creative or the mystic business that you want to be in because that is what it's about. It's about helping you get there, helping you figure that out too. So it's beneficial for those that have a business started, and also for those that haven't started yet. And um, oh, so much information in a short presentation. Your enthusiasm is contagious. Well, thank you. I love business. I absolutely love it. And I love sharing about it. I'm truly an entrepreneur to the heart. And I love sharing too. So, the soulfully magnetic entrepreneur is for women that already have a business started. So it's something that after you go through the mystic business, it's something that you could join in later. Okay, so that will be here as a support, and it's going to be ongoing. And I will also find a way to record it so that it will be available for anyone at any time, for a price, right? It'll be for sale because it is going to be a 5 day intensive for sale. Yeah, and so you can go into the link and take a look at all the different payment plans. You can pay up front if you want. You can split it in 2 or 3, or I think I have even 6 or 9 payments in there to make it easier. And stay tuned because I am going to come in and tell you more about the Soulfully Magnetic Entrepreneur before it begins. But the Mystic Business begins this Friday on the new moon. So I hope you will consider joining me. If you're feeling the pull in your heart, then there's something there. Pay attention to it. If it gets you excited and you think, oh my gosh, I would love to do this, listen to your heart. All right, guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. And send me any questions if you have them. Reach out if you're not sure and you want to talk to me. I am here for you. Mwah! Bye for now.